Hey everybody, we're here for a new episode of Five for Talking as the new season's about to kick off. We're going to start off here. We have our first episode that came out a couple weeks ago if you want to check that out. We're tier listing today. We are pre-ranking the league. So it is what it is. Season hasn't started. We're giving you our wild takes on who's going to make the playoffs. I'm here with Caps. You know him. He's quite popular on the streets. And here we go. We're in tier list land. So we'll start off here with the Anaheim Ducks. And I guess, hold on, mid video, we'll do this. Okay. That because I think this is correct, right? And on the fly, guys. Mighty Ducks. Or are they called just the Ducks?
If you want my honest opinion for the Ducks, they have no shot.
Yep, you are correct. I have zero argument for that.
I don't think maybe like we should take out that C portion because I don't know if we'll need it. I don't know. It's up to you.
We'll just keep it. If we don't put
Okay.
anything in it, we don't put anything in it. Um, sorry, the Arizona Coyotes. I was gonna say the Phoenix Suns.
No shot.
All right, I think they have less of a shot than the Ducks. Is that fair?
Yep.
Okay. This is too smooth. I think I don't think we've ever had such a smooth tier list ever.
Yeah.
Anyways, the Boston Bruins.
You know, it's funny because I'm a bit torn on this one. I I think they take a dip, but I just think they'd make the playoffs. But that's it.
I think yeah, I think that's what this is for me. I think the B tier is making the playoffs.
Okay.
All right.
Uh,
You know what? We didn't even talk about this. So Stanley Cup, obviously, I think we'll decide as we go, but I think we're only going to put two teams in Stanley Cup,
yeah,
one
one
from
from the
each
East, one from the
conference.
West. Okay.
A is going to be the legit contenders. B is going to be playoff teams, and I guess C will be teams that are a couple of teams that maybe are on the bubble of the
Like
playoffs.
like outside shot of making the playoffs.
Yeah, like they do have a chance, but they probably won't. Okay, Buffalo. I think this year Buffalo is making the playoffs.
I think
I
we're gonna have our first disagreement.
You don't think that they're a
Just,
better
just
team?
I think they don't make the playoffs. I think there are too many other good teams that I don't think Buffalo is there just yet.
Okay, this is what we're gonna do. We'll put it here for now,
Sure,
and
yeah,
we'll
yeah,
see.
that
We'll
I agree
see.
with.
No, I
I'm good
don't
with that.
agree with this, but we'll put it
Okay,
here for now, and we'll see how it plays out.
okay.
Okay, because we got to have 8 teams, I think, in that top from at least 8 or 9 teams have to be in there.
Okay.
The
Um,
Calgary Flames.
go in the same slot as Boston for me.
I think they're behind Buffalo.
I
I
think
think
they
I think they got a lot worse.
I think they shape up. I think they're going to be better next year than what you saw last year.
I'll give you
I, I
that for
think.
now. I'll give you that for now.
I think.
That's fair, right?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, Carolina.
Oh,
I'm
it's
not
funny.
ready. I'm not ready to lay claims yet, but they're
Okay,
definitely A tier.
okay,
All right, because I do think they're still just as good of a team. I
okay.
don't feel like they didn't. I don't feel like they got worse.
Who?
Carolina.
I think they got better.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, we'll get to that. Chicago. I don't think they have a shot. I'm just going to be honest. You can argue me out of this if you want.
They they're going to need to develop. I think they get better at some point, but not yet.
That's
Not
absolutely
yet.
fair because I do think like you got Bedard and you have some smart moves that you've made. You have a lot of cap space,
Yeah.
but I think I'll put them ahead of the Ducks and the Coyotes because I think they have a better future. Like they look like they have a stronger future than both of those teams.
I agree.
The Avalanche.
Uh for now, we'll put him in A.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Like this is all dependent on Langeskog.
I
Like
I actually agree with you.
yeah, like
Be-
if he doesn't make it back next year, you know what? I'll give you my opinion right now. If Langeskog is back next year and they're fully healthy, I'm ready to put them as up in that Stanley Cup tier
yeah, okay.
again. But that all it is all dependent on how healthy they are.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Also, like I said, I think for us doing this, I don't want to put teams there yet. I think
yeah,
because
yeah.
I think we might change our mind as we go through. Like, who knows, right?
Oh,
Um,
definitely, definitely.
I mean, Columbus is not poop. They're not very good. I mean, they made a couple of decent pickups. I would say they're still in the C's. I don't think they're a no shot.
I'll go with that.
I,
Just based on the fact that they made a lot of changes and to their coaching staff and to the players and stuff, I think that they are an outside shot.
yeah, that's fair. And see, I guess that C tier is coming in handy.
You're right. You're right.
uh, the Dallas Stars.
I put them in A.
I think so too. I think they got better. It's all going to be dependent on the goaltending.
Yeah.
I really think so. But their team is pretty solid. The Red Wings.
Oh boy. You know what? I'm looking at the East, and I just think there's way too many good teams. I think for me, Detroit outside shot.
I agree. I also think like they didn't get worse, but they didn't get better either.
You know, it's so funny you mentioned that, and I agree with you 100%. And I'm looking at a few articles, and more specifically, the Athletic, they rate Detroit as one of the teams that did a lot of great moves in comparison to all the teams in the East. And I'm like, that's weird.
It's funny because
Um,
I just read two articles, one on the score and one on ESPN that gave they gave Detroit a C minus score, both of them, for
yeah,
like
and
offseason
I
moves.
have a tendency to agree with that. Like, if we're gonna talk about it, I feel as though like Ottawa did a better job than Detroit.
Ottawa did a way better job.
Yeah, and
Detroit replaced their players that they lost, basically. They didn't
yeah,
get any better. They didn't get worse.
and
They're a ninth place team.
yeah, when I'm looking at this article, they have Detroit rated higher than Ottawa. I don't agree with that at all.
I don't. I honestly okay, can I put it somewhere? And you tell
Yeah,
me if I'm
see,
crazy. I think Columbus and Buffalo are both better than Detroit.
it's gonna be a tough race for those guys. Like I think, like for me, like
Okay, we'll
it'll be
rearrange, I think.
yeah, yeah,
The Oilers. Okay, so before we talk about it, I want to say something.
sure.
Between Connor McDavid and their coach, I can't remember his name. You should know it. You're the coach guy. Um, is it Tippett?
No, he's out. I can't remember. You know what? It's been like what 3, 4 months now. I'm
Yeah, but
forgetting names.
between their GM and the coach and Connor McDavid, they're so overly confident that I don't believe in them anymore. Like their confidence levels are too ridiculous for a team that has done nothing ever.
I'd still put him in A though.
I mean, I will, but I think they're here. I don't think they got better. It's like they're the thing with their team is right. It's fully dependent on goaltending. They didn't get better in net, and Connor McDavid can only take you so far.
As far as I'm concerned, I mean, they gained some depth on the forwards, but I don't think they got better on defense.
No, and they
And
also
obviously, you spoke on the
yeah
goaltending. Yeah, they're still a good team, but I
yeah
just,
no they are. I'm okay with them being an A, but I think when we're looking at the four teams that we have in A right now, they're clearly the worst team.
oh yeah, yeah, no, no, I, I won't argue with you on that. I just look at the West, and maybe there's a couple more teams that are
You know
just as
what?
good.
I forgot about that. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
I didn't think
Yeah.
about that at all.
And then one team's going to be moving up. It's like Edmonton might have that last spot, but
Yeah, the East, I mean the West is not strong. Um,
yeah.
Florida.
Oh boy, you think they repeat what they did last year?
No, but I think they're going to be good. I don't think they'll repeat. They're a B. They're the bottom of B. No, they're better than flipping Calgary.
I think they're better than Boston.
Okay, I'll take it. I will not argue that at all. As long as you think they're in B, I can't. I'm not going to argue with you.
I just think that Boston lost way too many players. I mean, the only significant loss for Florida was maybe Gudis, but they didn't.
Yeah, Agudas, who got way overpaid. Um,
Yeah, but like they didn't lose anybody else, but they didn't. I don't think they picked up anybody else either, like of any
it's all like
significance.
minor stuff, right? But
Yeah.
sometimes that's all it takes, and they have a lot of faith. And this is a situation where it's like in the last couple of years, Florida's made a lot of good moves and they've played pretty well, right? You had the rough start last year, but they came off a good season and they came off like a President's Trophy the year before that.
Hmm.
Um, so for me, for them and making it to the finals, and they made smart trades when they're overly confident, I'm not mad at it because they've proven they can do something, you know? If the Oilers make it to the Stanley Cup Finals at least this year, I'll change my mind about that. But until then, there's no reason for them to be as overly confident as they are. And we'll get to some more
I'm going
teams
to be
like that.
honest. I'm going to be honest with you. Just based on what you said, I'm willing to put them up in A.
Okay, well, let's get there. I think I want to. This is funny. Like I know normally we wouldn't do this, but like I feel like I kind of want to push past them quick and then come
Okay.
back to it later and readjust. Because
Sure.
we spend so much time doing this part of all the tier lists always, and then the ending is it's just over, you know?
Okay.
I want to have more fun. Um, the Kings. I don't think they got better, but I also don't think they got worse. And they're a pretty decent team. For me, they're better than Calgary.
Okay. Yeah.
I think maybe they're gonna have a little bit of goaltending struggles this year because of they didn't get Corpusalo back. But we know who did get Corpusalo. Um, the Minnesota Wilds. I feel like they are in a very, very similar position to LA and Calgary.
Yeah, and I'm willing to put one Minnesota in between.
Yeah, that's fair. That's I mean, right now, if you were on the outside looking in and hear all the trash we've been talking, the West is looking a lot stronger than the East, 6-3. Um, but yeah, Montreal Canadiens. I think, I think they're there. I think they're gonna have a few really, really, really bright spots this year, but they're without a Carey Price in net, they're not making the playoffs. They're not even like a close to contender, I don't think. Prove me wrong, I'll be
Mhm.
okay with it because I really like their team. I think they built a really nice team.
Yeah, they're just not there yet.
No. The Preds. One of the most mind-boggling off seasons I've ever seen.
I'm gonna say outside shot.
I'm gonna yeah, okay. Tell me if I'm crazy.
You're not.
Okay. I still think maybe these guys got to go here, but for now, I think the Predators are here.
Okay.
The Devils. Okay, they're obviously a B or an A. And but
Hey, I think they carry on that momentum they had last year, and I think they keep stepping up, and they're going to be I believe they're going to be one of the top teams in the NHL.
I think they got a little bit better.
Yeah.
The Islanders.
Outside shot for me.
I'm gonna go there.
Yeah.
I can't really argue. They're still, I think, on paper, they're a better team than the Predators are, but it's can they stay healthy? because the last couple
What are we talking
seasons, the Islanders.
about? The Islanders? Well, yeah, the only reason why I put them there is because there's just way too many good teams in the East ahead of them, if we're being honest.
I think you're correct. The Rangers.
This one's a little tricky, man.
This
I
one,
think they,
I'm glad that you said that because I think it's super tricky.
yeah, I think they got worse. I mean, not like significantly worse. I think they just, I don't know. I'm willing to put New York Rangers in the B
And
tier.
I would say they're there.
Yeah,
Ottawa.
I think they are a year away to making the playoffs.
I'm gonna put them there though, and I'm not letting you choose. Uh
I think they're a year away from making the playoffs.
yeah,
Honestly, yeah,
they're a really, really good team.
yeah. I
They
just think
they
yeah.
could make the playoffs this year.
Yes,
If
yes.
for
So they
people
could.
watching this, but let's just like for now, this is our preseason rankings. Let's try to
Yeah,
be realistic about it.
yeah.
Philadelphia is like here. They suck. And they drafted their draft pick. I mean, they got a top 3 overall guy in probably I think they drafted him like in the 7th position, but he has 3 years of contract in the AHL that he can't get. I mean, the KHL that he cannot get out of.
Mm.
So he could get stuck there with injury or whatever. But and I watched a video today randomly. It just started playing. It's funny that it's about the same dude. And they are like 5 games into the season in the KHL, and he's only played like a total of 6 minutes. So there's a lot of speculation that they're purposely not playing him because they know he's leaving for the NHL in 3 years, and by doing that, he's not getting any like training done. He's not getting it. He's not progressing as a player, and it's going to screw over Philadelphia and this guy's career on purpose because they're mad that he's going to go to the NHL. So we'll see how that goes. Pittsburgh Penguins.
This one's also a tricky one. I think they go in between Boston and LA. To me,
I absolutely will give this to you. You tell me, and then I'll talk.
to me, it's either Pittsburgh or Ottawa makes it for that last spot. I think this is like Pittsburgh's final year to do some damage, and then they're just probably going to have to look at possibly rebuilding. But Ottawa and Pittsburgh are going to be fighting for that last spot.
Listen, anyone who feels like they want to call me out, go ahead in the comments. I'm perfectly fine with it. Like, I'm not here to be like to sound like a hater or whatever, but Pittsburgh's goaltending is absolutely horrendous. Like, they arguably have one of the worst back to like goalie tandems of all of the teams that are in competition for actually making the playoffs.
Yeah, and you know that defense is not going to help out much either. You know, the pick of Carlson.
Yeah, they're banking on scoring 20 goals a game.
Sorry?
They're banking on scoring 20 goals a game is what they're
banking
banking
but they're
on.
also banking on getting 18 goals against. But, you know, does Carlson make them better? Yes. Offensively, yes. Defensively,
Slightly.
not so sure.
Yeah, he's a good defenseman. Compared, if you remove the worst defenseman they have off that roster and put Carlson in, you got better defensively. But I get what you're saying because he's not the guy who's going to make that play that's going to save you a game most likely. San Jose, I think, made really bad trades all season. Are all off season. They didn't really get any better. They missed out on getting Connor Bedard. To me, they're like, just because their actual on paper roster is better than these two, I'll put them there. You don't even need to say anything because I already know how you feel. I spoke for him, all right? So you do when you're married. The Krakens. This is a rough one because
It is.
This falls into like the Pittsburgh, New York, Boston, Florida category for me of like I'm not really sure where to put them. Not that they're as good as those teams. I mean, like I genuinely they had a good year last year, but when you look at on paper, it could have just been a one-off and they might never do it again.
Agree. I'm torn on this one, man. Like,
I
I'm
think
worried to put them in B, high B. It's
okay,
just,
so
it's tough. It's tough.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're running out of playoff spots for the West.
Well,
I'll go here.
there's
No.
one team that's definitely going to be in that A spot.
Oh yeah. Um so St. Louis is in a really weird position. They've made some smart moves, but they're in like a rebuild, but they're not in a rebuild. And
Yep.
it's I don't understand what they're doing because they're still good enough to make the playoffs and they're not bad enough to get a high draft pick.
I agree, and I think they're in somewhere in C.
Like I'll say here. Because
Yeah,
I still think like now that I'm
I think
looking at it,
Nashville's better.
Nashville's better, Buffalo's better.
Yeah, yeah.
They're I mean Columbus is arguably better, but I'll leave them here. Tampa Bay Lightning. I know you can't see it, but it's Tampa Bay Lightning.
I yeah, I figured. Um, I think they are. I think they're still good.
Okay, y'all say something and you tell me your opinion
Sure.
because I think we've kind of our original opinions for like 3 seasons in a row were identical towards Tampa Bay, but I think going into this season and sort of at the end of last season, we kind of went opposite directions with them. I'm
Mhm.
not going to sit here and pretend like they're not good enough to make the playoffs, but they're nowhere near an A team anymore. Not even close. To me, if I'm going to rank them here, I'll put it and then you can argue it out of the spot. They're like between here or here. They're like either ahead of LA or behind LA. And I know that's a weird place because like I kind of think here, but Carlson could be a difference maker and Tampa Bay got way worse.
It all depends on where you put the next team, and then I'll argue it.
Okay. Well, this is a hard one because I think generally we're talking about making the playoffs and winning the cup. So where we're ranking them, right? Like I don't know why I'm explaining it out loud, but it like makes me feel good. Um, the cup is like the cup, right? And then A is like a guaranteed high contention team that probably has a shot, but they won't win the cup. And then B is like they're going to make the playoffs for sure. The Leafs are definitely, to me, like they're here. Um, Only because I think the East is strong. I don't think that they are better than Dallas or the Avs. But I do think there's a guarantee they're making the playoffs. We
Yeah,
cannot doubt that. And I think they're going to finish somewhere in the top. With the new
yeah,
build of this team, I feel very confident in them. I still don't see a cup, but
yeah. I'm still iffy on that defense, but I'm. Let me ask you a question, and you give me an honest answer. Do you feel that Tampa was a better team last year?
no. I
Yeah.
I
I
feel
just
like the Leafs. I personally feel like they're okay. There was moments where Tampa was really good. I think Vasilevsky is just absolutely ridiculous. And um, my main thing with that series was the Leafs when the Leafs played bad or when the Leafs lost, it was them outplaying themselves more than it was Tampa Bay like shutting the Leafs down. In
hmm.
Florida, I think Florida outplayed the Leafs.
Yeah, just based on what I saw last year, I just thought, Toronto just escaped Tampa. I thought Tampa was the better team,
That's
but they
it's
were,
fair, right? Like
yeah. It's definitely a tough one. I'm willing to keep that right now. That's fine.
I
I
mean, we
just
can always move Tampa up. Like, do you think Tampa's
I
better
think
than
Tampa's
Seattle?
better than Pittsburgh. No, I
Okay,
think Tampa's better than
I'll
Pittsburgh.
give you that. Do you think they're better than Boston?
Yes,
I don't think they're better than Florida or the Rangers.
I'll give you that.
Okay.
Because I honestly I think Boston just got worse.
That's
Um,
absolutely fine. I think
yeah.
Boston got worse, but I still think they have a decent like makeup. Like they're not like in a really awful position in my opinion.
I think they lost the heart of that team. Bergeron is gone.
Mhm.
Krejci's gone. Bertuzzi's gone. Um, I just think that they lost way too many pieces. But Orlov's
Foligno's
gone.
gone, right?
Sorry,
Didn't Foligno leave?
I need to double check that. But Orlov's gone. So yeah, you know, but that's just yeah. Anyway, I'm good with
Uh
that.
okay. The Canucks.
Canucks outside shot.
Like
I'm willing to put Canucks all the way down where, yeah,
like here or behind?
yeah. I mean, that's fine.
Okay. Okay, well they're in A. Now let's talk
Yeah,
about where they're going in A.
Vegas. To me, Vegas is, man. I don't know. I think Vegas is better than Dallas.
Okay.
Their depth is friggin' insane.
Their makeup is a lot more physical than most of the teams that we have in the top there. Um, so I'm willing to say that. I think that's fair. Uh, okay, for argument's sake, now that we're here,
Mhm.
okay, no, let's continue. So Capitals,
Capitals for me, outside shot.
yeah, I'm gonna say they're better than the Islanders. I know that's a really weird thing to say, but I still feel like the team that they have is capable of making a playoff.
Hmm.
It's
If
just
healthy,
they
if they
got to
stay,
stay
yeah,
healthy.
gotta stay healthy. Oh, this next team
They're in a
is
similar
tough.
situation to St. Louis, where they kind of tried to rebuild, but they didn't rebuild, and they're good enough to make the playoffs, but they're not they're not bad enough to get a high draft pick.
Absolutely correct, but I feel as though Winnipeg's in a worse situation than St. Louis because two of their players don't even want to play for the team anymore. Hellebuck and Mark Scheifele.
Oh, I completely forgot about that. You're right. Okay,
So,
so for that reason, I'm going to put them here.
but
Uh,
if they are able to change their minds, if they're able to get those two guys back on track, they'll be a good team. But if two of your best players are not into it anymore, then yeah,
yeah, if
that team is
arguably
in
the second
shambles.
best goalie in the league doesn't want to play for you, then you might be in trouble.
Hmm.
Um, okay, so from here, I think we're safe to say this.
I That's what I had from the start.
And I think we've been riding this for a couple of years now. Um,
Yep,
we were right one time because
we were right
Colorado
one
won.
time.
But how would you rank them? Because I think you have two issues. You have the Landeskog situation in Colorado, but you also have the wishy-washy healthiness of Carolina's goaltending.
Hmm. I'm going to keep that the way it is right now because I really do think Carolina is an unbelievably good team. I think Rob Brendamore is probably the best coach in the NHL, the most valuable coach in the NHL. But it's all based on the fact that both those teams can stay healthy. If they can stay healthy, that to me is the finals for next year.
Okay. So in the next tier, let's get it to be three West and three East. So we need one more East team. Florida or the Rangers?
I'm going to say uh, Florida
Ahead or behind New Jersey? I think they're behind.
behind
I
behind.
think this ranking here is pretty good. I mean, I would argue this maybe, but I
I
don't really
was going to
care.
say the same thing. Like I'm if those star players can pick it up with the depth and the pickups that they got, I think that's a good mixture. That the Leafs can probably do some serious damage. Just the
It's the most
defense.
hard-nosed team that we've had
Yeah,
since the early 90s.
it's just that defense just scares me a little bit. But
I mean,
um,
they could be good. They just need to
they could
wake
be.
up.
Yeah, they just need to
Um,
wake up. The talent's there.
so
Um,
in the
and we're
next
probably
year,
gonna get a lot of hate about that anyway. But I
no,
don't.
but I mean, we get it anyways. In the next year, we got to have 4 from each. So I see 4 East and 4 West. So we are good there. It's weird. I do think, and it balances out properly. I do think that the East is way better than the West, and we have all 4 Eastern teams ahead of the Western teams without even knowing that we did that.
Do you want to mix it up?
I don't know. The only thing I can argue here is that Seattle maybe is better than Boston. But like at the same time, they don't have a Crosby or a Malkin or a Carlson. And
Yeah,
Boston has a silly good goaltending team right now. And
well,
they're still pretty good defensively.
that is so funny how that turned out. Um, yeah, I'll leave that one up to you.
I don't know. If anything, I think it's pretty good. If anything, maybe I'd put Minnesota ahead of LA.
Okay. Yeah,
Um, I think that's fine. Here, I mean, I'd like to drop another East team down, but I feel like the worst team we have in the East here is Detroit, and I don't think that they're bad enough to be in no shot.
yeah, we could tweak the rules a little bit. That's fine. I like that. I like that. Um,
And
I
okay, so
actually
I
really like the way this thing came out. To be honest
I
with you.
I agree with Vegas being here. I want to stress this very much. I agree with Vegas being here at the top of A, but I absolutely think they will not win the cup again. I just
No, I don't think so.
I think that was just all a a team that just exploded at the end of the season and then went on like a Cinderella run in the playoffs and happened to face a really beat the crap out of Florida and got lucky. Not that they were bad, because I do believe they're going to finish in the top of the West and probably make it, if not to the conference finals, to the quarterfinals.
So you're willing to keep it the way it is?
I think it's great, this list.
Okay.
I'm just saying, I see there's a better chance of maybe one of these teams slipping in and stealing the cup than I do think Vegas will get back there.
Oh, I see. So possibly switching Dallas and Vegas, maybe you're looking
No,
at?
no, let's leave it. Let's leave it.
Okay.
Okay. Anyone else who watched this, I don't know why I said anyone else. Everyone out there who's watching this, if you watched it all and you want to let us know what you think, let us know in the comments of who you think will win the cup, and peace out.